2. Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of On the Range Podcast with Hogg Tactical and Kelley Defense. We are live here at Muscatatuck Urban Training Center at the American Tactical K9 Conference 2024. As always, I am Mark Kelley, and joined with my co-host and friend is Rick Hogg from Hogg Tactical. How's it going, pal?
Man, Mark, it is going absolutely fantastic. I want to thank you, the viewer, listener out there, for giving us your most precious commodity, your time to tune in. Couldn't do it without you guys. Guys, do us a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button. Leave us a rating, review, all that other good stuff to beat the big tech algorithm. And don't forget, swing by warhog.com, KelleyDefense.com. Sign up for those newsletters. Trust me, our newsletter staff is big and robust, and you might get one maybe once a week, maybe every other week.
You're looking at it.
But no, we're super blessed to have another follow-on guest, Sheriff Kenny Freeman, who, in my opinion, is the ultimate leader when it comes to law enforcement within this country. Kenny's out there. He cares about his guys. If his guys are out there training, he's out there training, just offers them fantastic opportunity. But I want to hit on one thing as we get this thing going with Kenny. He kind of has a message to Jennings County. So it's his red light message, and I'm going to let him articulate a little bit on that. But, Kenny, thanks for coming on. You are a fantastic friend, super guest of the show. So welcome, and, man, I'm super excited to hear about this red light message you're doing.
Right on. Well, thank you for having me on again. So I'll talk a little about the red light message. It started one morning. I'm out there doing some traffic. I have my radar going on, and I'm like, most people don't know how this thing works. So I flick my red light on, and I'm like, I'll teach them some stuff and how I look at it, and then how I operate, and kind of give them a warning. You know, I turn my lights on if you're going at a certain speed, just to slow them down. If you're going more than my threshold, which I don't tell, I turn around on you and go give you a ticket. So that's how it began. And then I got a couple interns that I kind of let run with it a little bit. I kind of give them, hey, we want to talk about this road and what the speed limits are on that road, and let them give their message. So I kind of let them be entertainment. The funny thing is, when you do my camera, it's in reverse mode, so it looks like they're driving, and so we hear a lot of slack, even though the shirt is written backwards and stuff, and nobody gets it. And
that's awesome.
So I like to hear that stuff, and then the wise people, they get on there and comment and say, hey, it's a backwards message, you just don't understand, whatever. But it's like a minute long. I try to keep it under a minute. Come up with a different message. Maybe how many points you get for a certain speed, what points you get for running a red light or a stop sign, following too close, the points for that, and just kind of give them some information that maybe they didn't read in the book when they were taking their driving course or whatever. Hopefully, we make Jennings County a little safer by, cluing them in. I will give you a ticket, so slow it down. Don't do these things. So really, it's a safety message.
I heard a little fun fact that you actually have more, well, doesn't surprise me, you have more followers on social media than you actually have in your county?
Almost.
We're
close.
Okay.
But that's amazing.
Yep.
That's amazing.
But if you count little kids, then we probably have more adult followers than we have adults.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
That's good.
That's great. And, it's cool that I'm sure some of the kids that go to school, they see that their friends were driving a squad car in the middle of the night. That's awesome.
So I get little kids, hey, I know you. You're the Facebook guy.
That's right.
And that's happened a couple of times.
Yeah, that's right.
But on the red light message, here's one thing too, Kenny, right? So it's, yes, you talk about traffic enforcement and all that other stuff. But you did one to me that was near and dear to us, right? So you talked about the 4 rules of firearm safety.
Absolutely.
Especially with hunting season coming up.
Right.
Yep.
Using the firearms training notebook. And I'm like, there he is. He's got the firearms training notebook, red light message.
So I knew you guys were coming. But that safety message in there is important because a lot of people don't know the 4 firearms rules. And so put it out again and again and again. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's ever going to get out enough. But hopefully we're preventing something,
sure,
an accident or something silly. But so when we met, you guys were going to do the notebook. Mm-hmm. It hadn't been completed yet.
Correct.
The next year, you published it. I got one. We did the Warhog self-eval. I've done it several times over the years. I do it every year with you guys, and I've watched things improve. So it's important to use it, and it's important to gather that information and compare how you're doing, and what can you work on. What's going to give you the most bang for your buck in training?
Yeah.
A lot of times the first thing is going to be your magazine change, just because that's the most time that you can probably trim. Maybe it's presentation, your next thing. But anyway, it's been a helpful tool for me.
Well, I think the big hook for some administrators out there is like you are implementing this not only to yourself, but you're trying to get this implemented throughout your department as well.
Sure.
Because you see the benefits of it, and bringing it into those tangibles where folks can actually, law enforcement officers can actually see where their start point is and where to build from. Talk about that a little bit and see if there's been any change mentally about tracking your progression.
Well, I can tell you, yesterday we had Matt Miller out there.
Yes,
he trained with you in the morning. And when you said, hey, we're going to give some data out there, and you talked about the book, I'm like, you're going to need one of those books. Get it. So he called me at lunchtime and said, that is amazing, the amount of information that I got. He goes, at the academy, there's too many people there to do what you need to do, to actually train for improvement. But the light bulb turned on, and he is a big fan of gathering data and improving himself. So I just think that's the tool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and you think now, because a lot of times it's not, the dry fire portion isn't really a culture within law enforcement firearms training. It's usually come out, shoot your qual, check the block, yep, you're good, out the door you go. Now you're giving guys a tool where they've got a way to go, hey, here's my deficiencies, how can we track them, how can we improve them, how can I add to my survivability? Because really, at the end of the day, that's what I care about, is how do we make our officers safer? God forbid they're in that deadly force encounter where they're coming home to their families.
Absolutely.
So, and Kenny, from me to you, man, you bend over backwards supporting these guys.
Yep.
You're out there actually, you're very humble in that. Oh, I've shot a couple self-evals. You probably shot more self-evals than anyone in your agency, right? Just because you're always out there. If nothing else, you'll grab one, get the data, boom, off you go. But it's great to see that, you not only take care of your officers, Jennings County, trying to give them both messages on, hey, vehicle safety, firearm safety, absolutely fantastic. And it kind of rolls right into my next point. So we had the big hurricane hit, western North Carolina, absolutely devastated. Now, I know for me, it's probably at least, 5-ish hour drive to get out towards western North Carolina, which my route will probably be re-deviated. But,
right, yeah.
Here it is, you guys, the Jennings County, by the way, for our viewers, listeners, the only Jennings County in this here United States of America.
Yep.
But I know you partner with another county to get supplies to help out North Carolinians in need out there in the mountains.
Sure, and I don't want to steal his thunder, but Ben Flint, he's a sheriff in Jefferson County. He kind of got it rolling and said, hey, we're doing this. And I called him up and said, hey, we want a partner. And he was like all about it.
Yep.
Because he made contact with some other sheriff's departments from here to North Carolina because the truck was going to go that way. So I told him what we were going to do, and we made a plan, started gathering stuff, putting it on a pallet, putting it in some, I forget what those boxes are called. It's
like a Connex box?
Now. It's a...
Like the big cardboard boxes.
There's a big cardboard box. Yeah. There's a name for it.
Like we used to use for the military. Yep. You pack them up, they've got the lid.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the name of it.
Yep.
It's just slipping my mind right now. But anyway, so we got a couple of those from a place we used to work. And then people just started bringing stuff. And I think we filled his 20-foot trailer with stuff to take to the tractor trailer so they could do their run.
Yeah.
But it was... People wanted to give,
and
people wanted to help.
Yep,
that's amazing, and that's the way it is. I mean, I think Americans are like that anyway.
Yeah,
we want to help each other all the
yeah.
time, especially when we have some terrible devastation or disaster that happens, and we just want to make it better.
Yeah. And because the fact of the matter, between the federal government and the state of North Carolina, Governor Cooper, you're not stepping up to the plate, right? You're not helping your own citizens. Here we have, from Indiana, a couple sheriff's agencies getting things together, getting supplies out there. And I can't remember, I don't want to speak for you. Was anyone going out to volunteer as far as from, I couldn't remember if you said you were or you weren't. I didn't remember.
Yeah, there's 4 or 5 guys from here that want to go down there and help. So one of our friends, he works on our cars, and he works for one of our reserves as his mechanic, and he's just become a really good friend for everybody. Well, he was on vacation in Asheville when it happened.
Oh, boy.
And then so he struggled getting out of there, and when he got home, he goes, I just want to go help them because I couldn't find water.
Yeah.
I couldn't find water to drink. He goes, I could just load my truck up, my trailer up flat, and take stuff down there, and just, I know I could help. So he kind of gave us that message. That kind of gathered us around, and then we found out that other agency was doing a run, so we kind of partnered with them. But he's one of the ones that want to go down and help those people.
And that's fantastic, man. I mean,
it's sad. It's fantastic, but it's sad that the whole...
It's sad they had to go through that situation. Yeah. It's absolutely amazing watching the American people come together, especially where it's just not North Carolinians, right?
Sure.
You guys are coming up from Indiana. I'm sure there's people coming from all over the country to try to lend support. And the key part is it's support from, between Jennings County, Jefferson County, you guys making all these touch points, and your citizens giving to give back.
Sure.
It just shows the strength of the American people that I think we sometimes forget. And unfortunately, it's usually crisis that brings us together, which it shouldn't. But
when somebody would even say thank you for your service, I would always say it's a great nation to serve.
Right.
So this is kind of that.
Yeah.
That's why it is a great nation to serve. So
but you're definitely a beacon, and you're a funnel for stuff like that for good, and you're doing a great job on your department and abroad. And the one thing, if someone in the Police Chiefs Association or the Association of Sheriffs, could they reach out to you, and could you point them in the right direction on how you guys did it?
Absolutely. It'd be easy.
Okay. And how would they contact you? What would be the best way?
Either my email, which is kfreeman@jenningssheriff.org, which it looks funny because there's 2 S's in a row and no dot.
We'll put a link. We'll put a link in the show notes.
That means you got it right. Or they can call my cell phone number. It's 812-718-6407.
Okay. And I'm sure there's people, like you said, people want to help. People want to help, and I think you'd be a great person, especially in the Midwest, just to see how it worked for you and how it flowed. Maybe the end user drop off, that kind of thing. You could probably help with that too. So. Hats off to you, man. It's been a great partnership with the Jennings County Sheriff's Office, and that's due to a large point of you being the POC for us, and it's been great.
Well, I love working with you guys, and anything you ever need, I'm here.
Yeah, man.
Call me.
Thanks for that red light lesson or message for the firearms training notebook. That was awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then it keeps the hunters of Jennings County.
Oh,
hey, man,
huge.
Not only the hunters, but just whatever other citizens are listening. And then here's the other part with social, right? Even though I'm not a super big fan, but now your message is getting out to that much more.
Yes.
Right? So it's just not Jennings County you're affecting. Who knows what your reach is? So hats off to you, Kenny. I mean,
awesome.
Fantastic.
Thank you, guys.
Fantastic job.
Oh, and by the way, thanks for all the help with the range for the American Tactical K9 officers. It wasn't for you, we'd have to be somewhere else, probably not as good and much further away. So
well,
you're just contributing so much, buddy. Really appreciate it.
I'd like to thank Mr. Jim McKellar for letting us use that range. He welcomes us to go.
His staff is great to us, and it's just awesome.
Yeah.
So,
well, thank you.
All right.
Awesome.
You want to close it out, Rick?
You know, buddy. Sheriff, appreciate you being on again. For my viewers listening out there, you guys train hard, stay safe, and we'll see you on the range.